passion and putting time into your craft, everything can change.
Man, A24 has done it again. When you think you're going in for one movie, it ends up being a whole nother movie behind it. And Marty Supreme is just another one added to that list.
It means I have an obligation to see a very specific thing through, and with that obligation comes sacrifice.
Now, this movie is directed by Josh Safdie, which has done movies with his brothers such as Uncut Gems, Good Time, and Heaven Knows What, which is capturing an urgent, raw storytelling with neurotic characters, often set in New York City. And guess where this one is placed? In New York City. So this movie goes hand in hand with his style and his pacing of his movies. Timothée Chalamet is a producer on this movie who has done a phenomenal job promoting this movie with the marketing meeting stunt.
Good Time, which obviously came out after Robert Pattinson. Shwat! When I think Uncut Gems, Adam Sandler, Tiff, standing ovation. Shwat!
The ping pong head stunt, also creating some merch, as well as a flying blimp. When actors or actresses do things like this outside of just trailers and teasers and sharing the story of what movie they're doing, it creates a more interactive style to promoting the movie and stepping outside of just one box. You know, you have the blimp, you have merch, you have marketing meetings that make it really funny. And then he was also on the Fallon show. So things like that are what make it a little bit more fun and more intriguing for viewers to go see this movie. Marty Supreme presents itself like a straightforward ambition story, almost like an inspirational tone. Like I was getting ready to chase my goals right after this movie. It feels like that type of movie where greatness justifies the grind, but that expectation is the bait, not the destination. As the movie settles in, the focus quietly shifts away from victory and towards costs. The film isn't asking whether Marty will succeed, it's asking who he'll lose along the way. And that shift is subtle enough that you don't realize it's happening until the emotional damage is already done. Every decision he makes is filtered through one question: does this get me closer to my goal? And the danger of that mindset is slowly erases everything else. The love, the loyalty, the human connection start to feel like distractions instead of foundations for him. What makes this movie hit hard is how relatable it is. We're taught to glorify obsession, to admire people who block out the world we live in. But Marty Supreme shows that mindset quietly can turn into someone unrecognizable to the people who you care about most. One of the most painful through lines in this movie is how Marty treats the people who genuinely want the best for him. Not out of cruelty, but out of neglect. He doesn't want them away, he just stops seeing them. And that's often worse. It captures how ambition can shrink your emotional awareness. Marty isn't evil, he's just consumed, and by the time he realizes what he's lost, the distance is too wide to cross. Timothée Chalamet plays Marty with a quiet intensity that's deceptively simple. He doesn't overplay the obsession, he leaks it out through body language, pauses, and restraint. You can see the hunger in his eyes even when he says nothing. Now with this movie, when the credits roll, you don't really feel victorious, you feel reflective. You start thinking about your own goals, your own tunnel vision moments, and who you've ignored while chasing the next level. Who's been patient with you longer than they should have. And that's the real part of this movie. It doesn't judge ambition, it interrogates it. And it leaves you sitting with the discomfort long after the screen goes dark. Marty Supreme isn't just about winning or losing, it's about awareness. It's about what ambition gives you and what it quietly takes away. Through smart pacing, layered performances, and a genius marketing rollout, this film becomes a mirror instead of a message. And the scariest part is, Marty gets exactly what he wants. The question the movie leaves you with is whether that was ever the point.
What do you plan to do if this whole dream of yours doesn't work out?
That doesn't even enter my consciousness.